Well then, people, you know what time it is. It's time to go to EGX, my boys. I got another guest to come with me. Let's go. So here we are, boys. Our hotel room for tonight. It's a lot more swankier than the last time we went to London. I thought it will have a little bit of top-notch quality when it comes to a wonderful reservation for tonight, so that way we can have a lovely time at the EXL London. This is my friend's bed, Smoothie's bed, and this is my bed. Full of junk, as you can see. You've got your Game Boy, you've got your 3DS, you've got your Switch. Mostly Nintendo stuff. We sort of scrapped the Sony stuff because I'm not sure if anybody around EGX is going to keep playing on freaking Sony handhelds at that point. We arrived in London after a train transportation and it's gone quite smoothly as I thought, and it's nice to see that London hasn't really changed after the last time I've been here, so hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit more interesting. So I hope you all had a wonderful night, and I'll see you all tomorrow where I will be gaming like nobody's business. Take care, guys. Well, this is day one of me going to EGX 2021. We had to bypass through the security system by showing off our vaccine tests, so that way we're tested negative or tested positive. But luckily, I'm tested negative, and so is my friend over here. He's just trying to rescue me. We're heading down to the entrance down a long hallway of EXL London and hope we're going to have a lovely fun time while maintaining social distancing and wearing masks all the way through. We've been morning gaming and we've also been night gaming in the hotel room. It's way more fun watching the news in the morning, isn't it? It has been at least 2 years since I last attended EGX, and I had just begun to recollect the fond memories I had there. COVID fever was still big during 2020, and the risk of being infected was quite high, to say the least. So, EGX 2020 didn't happen. But that all changed here. EGX 2021 had to set down some ground rules to allow people to attend the event. They were required a lateral or rapid flow test to prove that they were tested negative within the past 48 hours. They were required to wear a mask, but it's not mandatory, and to always sanitize your hands at all times. EGX also had to allow a limited quantity of attendees, which is the reason why the queues at the entrance were quite smaller. Whilst I was in the queue, I was greeted with this one Coca-Cola advert at the entrance. You know, that one advert that got dislike bombed to high hell? This is the only thing they had to show to set the mood of the event. Even I wasn't fazed when I first saw it. I have an inkling feeling that I'm going to be seeing this Coca-Cola advert every single time I go through the Super Pass entrance, aren't I? I mean, I can't deny it. It's really good gamer juice. I'll pass. Just in time for the countdown to begin. 5, 4, 3, check it out. Kimi no Na wa best anime 10 out of 10. Don't at me. Wife's best girl. Don't at me. Best Kufu the Dragon ever. Don't at me. That is quite long. 7 quid for a 3-meter charging cable. Because when you want to charge your phone along the hotel room, you might as well do it in style. Look how big these freaking things are. It's enough to rival an Ethernet cable length. Like, jeez. I might as well use this as a whip. The retail zone was certainly a highlight of EGX 2019 personally, and is still a highlight this year as well. What's disappointing is that the vendors are smaller in terms of what variety of products you get to buy. Most of the vendors are just stuff I've already seen before, but I suppose they're just regular sellers here. I really missed the Game Boy Shack and the wide array of games you could buy. That was one of the best parts of the retail zone. But let's see what they have to offer this time around. You got Bloodborne the board game? Horizon Zero Dawn the board game? Bruh. Resident Evil 2 the board game? And last but not least, Devil May Cry the board game. Where's my Genshin Impact board game? Step it up a notch, put it on Kickstarter already. This is the stand that was all the rage this year. Fluffy moving hats that I saw plenty of people wearing around the convention show floor. This reminds me when I visited Comic-Con back in 2014 and everyone was wearing Pikachu hats. I really hope Moshi hasn't caught the new and improved cuteness disease kawaii variant. Not after last time we went. Look at the amount of Funko Pops at this stand.
That vendor alone could pile up a landfill. Funko Pops is the new amiibos. I really don't want to buy a Cuphead 40-pound Funko Pop when I can already buy the actual game for much cheaper anyway. I really can't decide which REM I like better. I don't think I will buy Pokemon cards as I'm trying to get rid of my own collection. I really don't want to buy art of Mario smoking a joint. Wait, what? Sure, the items do look cool, but there is only a limit to what I want to buy versus what I can buy. So what did I buy after window shopping for so long? Well, I bought 2 Ruby shirts for my friend back home. 1 shirt with Blake and 1 shirt with Ruby. The reason why I bought these shirts was that during lockdown, I binged through all 8 seasons of Ruby so far with my friend on Zoom, who is a huge Ruby fan, by the way. And I thought it would serve as a nice gesture to bring him gifts of our time spent together in the world of Remnant. I had to make sure that they were the right fit for him, making myself out like a fashion model on Broadway. God, I'm so weird. I mean, there were other shirts on sale, but to be honest, I could only buy as many shirts to fill up my small-ass wardrobe. Not to mention, most of the shirts were from games, movies, and animes, and I wouldn't really... What the hell is that running dinosaur doing here at EGX? It is run... Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I also bought a couple of posters to decorate my bedroom wall. I think this one justifies the purchase, wouldn't you say, Disney elitists? Most of all, I had a really fun time browsing the canvas booth. Not just because of the canvases that tickled my weebiness area to the max, but I managed to strike up an enlightening conversation with the seller himself regarding his taste in anime.
I mean, I prefer Spirited Away. People compare it to Spirited Away.
That's a Ghibli film. That's like vanilla compared to Kimi no Na wa. Have you seen like Silent Voice and Sayonara? Like emotional kind of animes. If you want a kind of emotional anime that hits you different, I think watch those kind of anime. But Kimi no Na wa is one up there. But I think Spirited Away is just, it's fluff, whatever. I mean, there are way better Ghibli movies out there, like for instance Mononoke, Ponyo, for example. Like better ones, but Spirited Away is like, it's a classic, don't get me wrong. Doesn't mean I hate it, it's just like there are much better anime movies out there.
Yeah, but personal preference, then of course.
Yeah, I mean it's personal preference. Depends on what kind of anime you watch. Are you like into the vanilla stuff, or do you want to go like into the other areas?
I like K-On! And I can go the K-On! All the way down to something like Trigun, Old School Samurai Champloo, Kenshin.
Genshin? Oh, I play Genshin.
No Genshin, Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rurouni Kenshin. It's not done by...
Well, Genshin is Genshin.
Oh, right. Oh my god! Why isn't Ganyu on here? I'm not buying this. There's no Ganyu on it.
Ganyu, yeah?
Yeah, there's no Ganyu. You got Lumine, Zhongli, Child, but no freaking Ganyu.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna note that down for
next year. I want a Ganyu canvas painting, please.
Next year or maybe next con, MCM Comic Con.
Yeah. Because I have like too many Ganyu pics flooding up my phone right now, and I want one so badly. Yeah, I'll drop you an email. And then next year, you better reserve that for me. If anyone else buys it, I'll just nick it off them. I'll actually buy that canvas. I want that one. If you have a Ruby one, can you put that in there, please? Yeah, those 2 and Kimi no Na wa, please. Yeah, Kimi no Na wa. I'm glad you didn't have the Butch Hartman version of Mikasa, because that is such a meme. It's like cursed Mikasa. I just hope I don't get locked out of my account because I spent too much today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should be okay.
I'll just explain it back. I say, look, listen. It's anime stuff, alright? Nothing contraband about it.
When you get a chance, drop me an email.
Yeah.
Take a picture of the canvases and send me a picture.
Yeah, totally. I got plenty in mind, but I'll see you later, mate. It's good. Cheers.
Okay, back to the weird stuff. You thought the board games were odd? Check this shit out. A Cyanide and Happiness party game? A Jumanji card game that's based off the movie that has a board game. The Dark Crystal, the board game. As if the video game wasn't enough! And Jim Henson's Labyrinth, the adventure game. That's one way to honor David Bowie's memory. But here's something I bought that would take you by surprise.
Alright then, I think I may have expressed my interest in D&D after seeing one of my friends play on their live streams every Thursday. Shout out to Nico Silverado for doing his Dungeons & Dragons single campaign long runs. I don't know how to tell you this, but I got some MLP D&D with me. Don't ask me why, and don't judge me either. Now all I need to do is catch up with the rest of the MLP seasons, and my understanding of the world and lore of Equestria is done. Just as a note, I was rewatching all the seasons of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic up to season 4 at the time this vlog was made, so my memory of MLP has been quite jaded since I last revisited the show. Please bear with me, I have so much more to say. Those weren't the only products that were on display, however. There was an entire collection centered around Tales of Equestria. There was like a compendium, the map of Equestria, and even a starter set to help introduce newcomers to the series before you can really test your role-playing skills on the real thing.
I don't know when I'm going to start creating my own character, but I will eventually, people. And now, for the one booth that kept me coming back for days on end. The booth that gave birth to the most intense training arc I had ever undertaken in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, Grapple Dog! But not only Grapple Dog, but Grapple Dog with a time trial leaderboard, where you can win a free game and a t-shirt! Sign me the hell up! Before I got a little taster of the demo, I was chatting to one of the Super Rare Games crew members about the game, and that the game has already birthed speedrunners striving to achieve the fastest time imaginable. So me and him have decided on a bet. If I manage to get the fastest time in first place 4 days in a row, he would take me on board as a QA tester of the team. We both agreed, shook on it. It's official now! Time to take over the controller and push myself to the limits. 3, 2, 1, go!
Here comes a new challenger!
So my friend Smooshy is also having a go at Grapple Dog. My timer is still at the first place in the time trial, and now he's having a go to see if he can beat my time of 2:25. And if he does, well, I say we've got a big competition on our hands here, boys.
Spoilers, he didn't beat my time today. Although there were competitors that managed to trump my fastest time, I always come crawling back on top. I didn't want to leave empty-handed though. I bought an SRG pin badge for like £5 that came with a complimentary purchase card, a coaster, stickers, and not to mention this free t-shirt I won. I know what I'm wearing tomorrow. Alas, I take my leave to greener pastures. I bid you adieu, Grapple Dog, for I shall return for a second time.
No sign of any Ganyu cosplayers yet, but I'll be on the prowl, don't you worry. I will find one eventually.
Speaking of Ganyu cosplayers, you'd think with a popular game like Genshin Impact that had its own exhibition at Bilibili World this year, would also be at EGX. I'm sad to report that there is no Genshin Impact section in the like, and not even a single Genshin cosplayer to be found. I suppose there's always next year, am I right? Meanwhile, while I was wallowing in my own disappointment, I thought I'd tag along with Smooshy for a bit and dabble in a rare retro zone by fondling pinballs. They had the TMNT one, the Monsters one, the Kick-Ass Iron Maiden one, and the one I hate the most out of all of them, Batman and Robin. Fuck that pinball machine and its terrible design. The Monsters had a pinball machine inside a pinball machine, making it even easier to fail and lose even more balls somehow. TMNT had some impressive visuals to make gameplay more engaging. You can select up to 4 characters with different stats that does not affect your ball whatsoever, but it does affect the obstacles you hit in the game. This is the order from most to least enjoyed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing my first unboxing video of Ita for the Nintendo Switch physical release. Let's go. I do love the ceiling, like this one. Oh, look at that. Got like a limited exclusive card. Just shows off the game inside the card. And then you got the actual game inside its seal. But I'm kind of afraid to open the seal. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna open it. Does it make you triggered, collectors? Oh, whoa. I love the steel box set. Look at this wonderful gem. So you got a nice little inlaid box art right here. Compared to that, it's always the steel box set that looks really fancier compared to the actual real talk box art. Of course, because it's a limited game, it has a postcard inside of it which you can write to your loved ones. I can just hand it off to Smooshy. There's a special little something inside this case. Oh, it's a manual. Okay. They don't do manuals like this anymore. This one's like small and compact. So that's not a bad manual. On the one hand, I feel so glad that I won this physical copy of ETA. But on the other hand, it's consumed literally my entire day at EGX. Tomorrow, I will win another physical game for you people. And if my time gets trumped by someone else last minute,
Funny enough, this Doctor Who pinball machine was the same one that Mushy had tried 2 years ago.
oh, you got the bunny ears now? Yeah, peak gamer mode right now.
On the other side, there was a column of arcade cabinets, which is where I spent most of my time later on in the evenings. Unfortunately, I couldn't even try some of them.
This arcade cabinet is broken. This Golden Axe cabinet is broken. And crap, this Saviour's arcade cabinet isn't even working as well. 3 arcade cabinets that don't work.
The only game that still manages to work is Ghosts and Goblins. Well, might as well aim for that top score while I'm here. This won't take long.
Look, my top. Check it. I'm telling you everybody, Ghosts and Goblins is a hard game back then, and it's still a hard game now.
Okay, I had my fun in the retro zone today. It's time to queue up to try me some AAA games in the EGX 18 Plus zone. Wait a minute, these are games that are close to being released or are already out. What gives? Desperados 3, Gears of War 5, Hades, Halo Master Chief Collection? It would have been way more cheaper and faster to buy the games on Steam than to blow all this money on hotel reservation, ticket orders, food, and traveling. But hey, you guys like to see me suffer, and I came all this way so you don't have to. Since this is an adult-only section, you had to provide your physical ID in order to gain entry, which this person in front of me bailed out on. Rip that guy. I can't try Deathloop because that means you have to wait in line even longer, so I suppose the only game I can force myself to try is Back 4 Blood, made by the same developers who made Left 4 Dead. I played the game for 45 minutes, and
To be honest, it kind of is Left 4 Dead 2.0 to be quite frank. But I've done a campaign and I got up to Act 2 when you had to first face the breaker for the first time, and I did it in like 1 minute before I actually had the chance to go away. My first impressions of it is it's not like a particularly a game that I would get into. Again, it pretty much plays exactly like Left 4 Dead, but you got like new levels and new bosses and all that. If you want a real good experience like that, just go ahead and play Left 4 Dead, because Back 4 Blood, you're not really missing much, because it kind of does borrow a lot of elements from Left 4 Dead. You just need to wait until it's on discount or something so you get it at a better price then, because at the value it is now, I don't think it's really worth it. Not particularly the kind of game I was kind of looking forward to, but I tried it out regardless, just so other people won't have to worry about going out and buying a copy. So, Back 4 Blood, not a bad game. I mean, for me, it's a skip, but I'm pretty sure for Left 4 Dead veterans, I'm sure it would appease their taste sooner or later. Me and Smooshy are gonna thrash each other out in Tekken 4. We ain't going for Tekken Take Tournament 2. We're gonna live for that one.
as the first day draws to a close, we wind down at the console gaming corner with as many rounds of Tekken 4 as we can possibly manage before heading back to our hotel room to crash for the night. A game like Tekken 4 brings us back to our school days, when during our ride up to school, we'd thrash each other on our tiny PSPs with a copy of Tekken Dark Resurrection. Nice to see that nothing's really changed after all these years. Oh, that reminds me. Moshi informed me about finally unlocking that one Stanley Parable achievement.
I last played it in 2014, and today's the day I actually get it. So it's just downloading and verifying now. So all I gotta do is load this game up, see if I get the achievement. So pop on the bottom right, I know it. There it is! I got the achievement, boys. I am now playing the Stanley Parable after 5 years. Goodbye. Back to Jump King, boys. Alright, let's go. What? God damn it! Oh, I pushed the wrong button! Oh, Jesus. Alright, day 2, guys. We've just done our rapid flow test to see if we are clear to go today. Seems I'm negative, boys. Let's go. Da 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 Da-da-da.
Here's something I forgot to do yesterday. At the entrance, they give you a blue token that you can use to get discounts on EGX merch. Got me this sweet Lady Dimitrescu pin badge, a totes bag with an encouraging statement,
Why, yes, I shall.
and check it out, a super pass badge to adorn yourself with that buffs +10 intellect. That I would have worn all along to make myself feel more special.
Here
Oh,
comes the
shit.
new challenger!
Well. Smooshy did make it to the time trial leaderboard after all. Let's see if I can fix that for him, shall we? Wait, let me try again. Much better. Time to get some lunch to celebrate.
Now, I know a lot of you have this burning question in your mind that is begging to be answered right now. Do people still use street passes on their 3DSs?
My conclusive answer to this question lies right before your very eyes. But there is still hope in Street Pass being added to the Nintendo Switch. I'm telling you, Nintendo, Miitopia doesn't cut it!
DW tries it! Alright, it's time for another episode of Zangorwarrior Tries It. I have the Millionaire Short Spread and the one with Smarties on it. I think I'd rather go more adventurous and try the Smarties one, so let's go. Damn, that's some good Smarties. My IQ is increasing tenfold. Now, Millionaire Shortbread. Guys, I don't care what you say. Nothing beats Millionaire Shortbread. And then we've got some bubblegum licorice. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste that a little bit. That is so weird. Oh god. Oh, it's very tangy. Skittles Fudge is a new level of tasting the fucking rainbow. So let's do it. Whoa. Whoa. That is actually really good. Tastes like a nougat. Well, that's my lunch today. Let's go. Alright, so I never thought I'd be doing this, but me and Smooshy have just signed up for a Tekken 7 tournament. I don't know who is going to reign victor out of all of that, but it might be me or Smooshy. So be sure to type in the comments below before the results happen to see who might win this competition. Zang Gang Bang or Lucky Goshi, I don't know. I can't tell the team name. Alright, we'll see you then at 3 p.m. Well, guys, you didn't expect me to do yet another unboxing video, did you? Well, I got another award from Super Rare Games because I had the top timer of day 2. I'm gonna go ahead and open it. So this one is called The Flower Collectors and the Lion Song. It's a 2-pack Nintendo Switch physical copy of this limited edition release game. And it comes with certain cards inside of it. And of course, another sticker. So let's go ahead and open those bad boys. We've got the Lion Song with the Switch thing here, and a bunch of card profiles of the characters in the game. Now then. And this is the one for Flower Collectors. Right. Now comes the big reveal. And check it out. You got yet another alternative cover art. It looks pretty swanky if I do say so myself. And just like the other one, this one also has a small manual inside of it, giving you the little details of each game in its packet. That's a really good one. Really good one, boys.
So we got Zangro here on this side. We got the Untitled Champ over here. Alright, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of the real fighting games is on screen right now! Alright, first round, and we're still a bit nervous. It's all good, it's all good. And we're off straight away. Oh, big death fist. Damn, that's gotta hurt already. into the wall. No mercy here. Zangro getting that fist up in the air. I like it. Positivity. Alright. Bro, I love your hat. It's kind of sick, man. You play Tekken? No, you're not in the tournament? No problem, dude. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bro looks like a street fighter player. Alright, there we go. 2 rounds straight now for the Zangmeister. Getting them chainsaws, danger mode. Damn. Starting off strong, that big shoulder coming in. The jump up? Okay. Panner, champion of Asda, bring it back here. He's down, he's against the ropes now, and his back's against the wall. A good sidestep, the chainsaws are out there in play. No way is that about to hit. No! You're ready, bro, you're ready, alright, we got the Irish representation.
Yeah, let's go!
Versus an Eddie. Anybody played Tekken 3 back in the day, this is a classic matchup. Oh, Mossy looking like he's ready to throw a tantrum, bro. Oh, damn! Straight in with the big Eddie plays here. Dina's gonna have to start working a little bit harder. Oh, open shots. What a catch. What again? Oh! Marshall takes round 1 here now. Okay. Get forward here. Big man is going to have to start changing up his tactics if he wants to see a W in the end.
Oh, alright. They coming.
Oh, he's played Tekken before. I see that. I see that any move. Remember, guys, first to 4 rounds in a first of 1 situation. There we go. Right now. Oh, it's getting close now. And the big can make this comeback here. We'll try and step out, but no, Bossy puts him down. Ooh! Back throw. Alright, we have combos here. This man has played the game before. Oh, jumping over the ground. Sending it forward. Give the big dude to lock.
Use range on! Use range on! Oh!
We are moving on in the bracket, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting closer. The stage and live experience for Zangor is gonna... Here we go, ladies and gentlemen! Alright, good start for the Zangor. Alright, good defense here. Teleport ninja moves here. Ooh, dang. Zangor taking that first round. Ooh, flipping over. Alright. Over the rolls. Watch your legs. No way. Oh! Down, that did a lot of damage. Let's see if we can make the comeback now. Oh, you have the crowd on your side, my friend. Remember, guys, 4 rounds. That's all it takes. Best of 1. Okay. Uh-oh. Panic stations here now for the Badger blow. Oh no, Badgers. He's doing this just as advertisements of his business. Selling them Badgers, man. Ooh. Oh, it's almost over. Sending them forward.
I couldn't record Moshi's next round. Did he get through? I'll carry this one for you, buddy.
Alright, Zangor's ready. Warming up the pads here, warming up his hands, whispering words, sweet nothings in his own ears. Okay, stand with the big shoulder here, but wait a minute. That's two there in front of you, man. Breaking them up already. Okay, Zangor starting off with his statement here, too, that knows what he's doing. Oh no! Damn, answer back with the big dead fist. Oh! Looking for something here. Shoulder for shoulder. Zangor's not used to losing right now. Third time on stage. But look at that. Huge damage right here. Okay, already up in the air here. Ah, big shoulders coming out. Tuna with the big party. Ooh, right. You know what you have to do now, bro. Ooh, just dodges around it. Big amnesia stuff on, man. Oh, it's pretty close. Not dead, but last chance here. Oh, wow, quick work that is, man. Sashimi coming around the inside. Uh-oh. Zangor, whispering, see nothing's here again. Nah, man. Pushing in. A little bit to get that shoulder. He's taking it off before. He knows he can do it again. He's getting close to the end. Uh-oh. Big punish here, last shot. Great block. Uh-oh, Rage is available now. He's trying to defend it. Very close. Zangor, we will see you again tomorrow, sir. Tuna, moving on, sir. Moving on.
Well then, I never thought I would face instant defeat and regret while playing Tekken 7 on stage. I didn't get through, neither did Smooshy. Smooshy got beaten by someone he couldn't remember the name of. I remember a certain rival that I got beaten by. Pokemon Trainer Red, I see Open Tuna. He was wearing a Raiden shirt from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and I literally was trash talking him being like,
I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
or something like that, until I got my ass thrashed by his Lars main. He's a pretty good juggler, not gonna lie, so I kind of feel intimidated right now. I was quite rusty at Tekken, not gonna lie, because I haven't played it since like 4 years now, so you can tell I was quite rusty on stage. Tomorrow, there'll be a second chance tomorrow. I will get on up on those practice moves, practice my ass off with pulse combo moves and sets, and then I'm going on that stage and I'm gonna win those prizes, guaranteed, so go watch out for my back.
While I was rusty at Tekken 7, there was another old game that I wasn't so rusty at. Did I ever tell you guys that I listened to the soundtrack of this game and the Rayman soundtrack so many times as a kid? I would always repeat the same tracks on this CD Walkman for hours on end that the discs ended up developing scratches and I couldn't even listen to them anymore. I thank the PS1 disc for also doubling as audio CDs. Me and Moshi have spent most of our gaming sessions competing against each other in classic matches, and just listening to the music again just sends nostalgic waves down my spine. You can tell how engrossed we are. Even though I did lose playing Tekken 7 on stage today, I can still thrash Moshi in Tekken 4 and Buster Move 2 so I can feel superior about myself. I mean, check out the tally score. 23 to 18. I'd say that's a good achievement. I better get back to the hotel. That's not the only achievement I scored today, however.
Alright, here we go, boys. I'm about to triple crown Unida for the very first time. There she is. My second cryo girl is finally complete talent-wise. Now all I need to do is get her a better fucking artifact set. Well, you gotta admit, this is a really lovely view. I am literally the predator right now, seeking on prey. I will get closer to him, and I will surprise him. He is unaware. That's good. So then, Smooshy, I see you have been infected with the cuteness disease. I was too late to save him. I'm gonna head over to EGX now, and the first thing I'm gonna do is check out the Super Rare Games booth, because I'm not gonna secretly tell them this, but I've been practicing Grapple Dog literally all night until 2 AM in the morning, trying to get literally all the 3 levels unlocked right in the time trial. So if they pull a curveball on me, I'm on to them. I'm gonna pull a double curveball back. And then probably after that, I might actually try a lot of indie games in the Rezzed area and in the Left Field Collections area. There's quite a lot of indie games that I can like pile drive through. So let's see which one's my favorite, and let's see which one is the worst. This is my tier list of best indies to show at EGX 2021. Let's go. So I'm finally at EGX, guys. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna pick a random indie game. So I'm gonna pick that one. Okay, Formula Retro Racing. All right, I might have to go ahead and try it. It's an understatement to say that the AAA games have been taking the backseat this year to give way to the wide selection of indie games at the Res Zone. I'm glad that the indies are getting more attention and that I'm seeing people enjoy them for the very first time. Developers behind the games are really open to talk to anybody who passes by. They introduce them to the game, answer questions, and sometimes they backseat players to help them make smooth progress. However, it suffered the same problem as the AAA games had. Games that were being showcased were games that are close to being released or are already out. With that being said, let's go for my first impressions of each indie game I managed to try out today. Alright, the first game I tried out was obviously Formula Retro Racing. I enjoyed this game a lot as it's a mix of Ridge Racer, Destruction Derby, and Outrun melded into 3D polygon models. Recently I played Ridge Racer on one of my live streams, so I can say that my knowledge of the drifting mechanics and crashing physics have helped in scoring first place. I like the sense of speed, controls are on point, and the track design seems quite okay. B tier. Next game I tried out was Re-Legend for the Nintendo Switch. I'm really sorry to say, but this game runs like absolute trash on the Switch. The frame rate is very low, the UI is catered to PC controls, so it's really confusing to understand the button layouts. Sometimes the controls lock on me and I couldn't even move, and the start of the game is so boring to even hold my attention. E tier. Here's one for you old school horror fans, Tormented Souls, which touts that. And yeah, it's pretty much that. It borrows elements from Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Alone in the Dark when it comes to inventory management, clunky tank controls, in that case just add modern controls, in-game references, and puzzle solving. Not to mention at the start of the game, you get the glory of seeing nudie boobers completely uncensored for all the children to see. And there were children at EGX, don't you worry. B tier for boobers. What the fuck? This dude's got some nerve. This won't take a second. Now, where was I? So, you've heard of a card first-person shooter game, but what about a card tactical racing roguelike game?
That's Death Road's Tournament. I do love challenging games like these that encourages strategy at its core. The goal is to play certain cards that can move your vehicles in a four-way direction, attacking enemies by shunting or shooting artillery at them, and to use the environment to your advantage. I got as far as the first boss in the demo, and needless to say, it is very hard. Each stage you clear before doesn't restore your health fully, and I was stuck with lower health trying to face this thing head on. You can imagine how far I've gotten from that point. Overall, a fun game. A tier. Chef-tastic Buffet Blast. To be honest, I only tried this game out because it had a leaderboard. Got to wave 28 and scored a free goodies bag. The game is a typical arcade shooter with power-ups and whatnot, which felt like it didn't really offer anything new in my opinion. Perhaps there's more to add to it down the line when the full game releases. D tier. Here's a game I recognize. Coffee Talk. I remember this game came out last year and it's good to see more episodes being made. I even went so far as to buy a limited physical release of the game on PlayStation 4, perfectly sealed for preservation to take its course. As expected, the game continues after episode 1 where it introduces a new Banshee character who struggles with being a soprano on social media and having to face online abuse being hurled at her. I think in the last episode, society is still trying to adjust to the acceptance of other species coexisting with humans, while protests, wars, and riots were going rampant. Heavy topics, to say the least. If you're the type of person who's into visual novel narrative type games, you should definitely check this one out. Take it from me. B tier. The granddaddy of rhythm games, Archaea. With an anime aesthetic and beat-map gameplay, what's not to love? I love trying out new rhythm games, and this one seems to take gameplay in a new direction. You have 2 lines to work with, the top and the bottom, making you wiggle your fingers around like a DJ to try and keep up. Archaea has 4 difficulty modes that really test your fingers to the utmost extreme, but you have to unlock songs in order to do just that. The game's still being supported to this very day, considering this game came out 4 years ago with around 50 plus songs. And now, it has up to 250 plus songs. I downloaded Archaea on my smartphone. Looks like I'm committed. I guess I have to practice so I can flex to all of my friends in public. S tier. Conway Disappearance at Dahlia View.
Quite a challenging demo, as it is customary when it comes to old school point-and-click adventure games. You gotta use your high IQ, and you gotta look at context-sensitive clues in your environment. It starts off with you being basically like a stalker, pretty much, just taking photos of people and trying to uncover the secret of the apartment that's run by Charlotte, or was it Annabelle, and this guy named Theo, who is a cellist. But you had to investigate the flat to uncover the secrets of what they were doing last night. I'd say they just like killed a baby or something. Just bleach the remaining evidence away so that nobody would know that they killed something, that they literally aborted or something. I'm not really sure. But what I like about it is that the main character you play is Conway. Usually when you're in the first person view and click on something, you don't necessarily see it, and you don't really see the character talking, like the lips move or something like that. But this one, it's quite dynamic. Even if you go out to like third person view, we actually do see your main character talking, which is actually a nice little detail that they've added into the game, so that way we know that the character's more alive than you feel. It brings back many Broken Sword vibes in that retrospect. And look, I just got photobombed by the cuteness over there. But yeah, I think it's a nice game. I can't wait to like play more of it, because again, I live and breathe point-and-click adventure games like Broken Sword and Another Code. Does anyone remember Another Code? Is it only me? I'm gonna pick it up, definitely. Alright, on to some more indie games, boys.
B tier. Inua, A Story in Ice and Time. This is another usual point-and-click fare, but this time, you can juggle protagonists from different time periods with intertwined fates, in order to change the course of history and solve clues along the way. I didn't mind this one, but I do see myself in the future only playing for this once, and that'll be it. Unless the game has embedded achievements or post-game content. C tier. Oh boy, another horror game! I do love the jagged font. A first-person psychological horror game that tries to be Amnesia: The Dark Descent. The prologue, to me, goes down this road of trying to jump scare the players out of their seats rather than slowly easing them to a false sense of security through atmospheric build-up. The headphones I wore had the game on so loud that I had to turn down the volume to not risk getting ear-raped. I got far into the prologue, until...
Well then, I crashed the game, and I can't really do anything about it. I want to check the camera shutters, but the game is bugged out. That's my first impressions of Dark Fracture, everybody. What a sight to behold, eh?
Broke tier.
Here's
Seriously?
Challenger.
God damn it, it's the same dude again. How does he keep one-upping me like this? I'm not losing this bet no matter what. There. Now he won't be able to beat that. Back to where I was. I heard about A Juggler's Tale before, actually. It's a cinematic platformer in the vein of Limbo. However, this one takes on a jovial and comedic turn akin to the Stanley Parable, with the narrator trying to lead the player into following his story, and you're just fucking it up for him. I even managed to talk with the developer in a remote session while playing the game. Both of us really enjoyed the conversation we had, and even after I finished playing through the demo, we still talked for minutes on end. B tier. And then there's Greek Memories of Azure Lane.
It's a Metroidvania style game in the vein of Hollow Knight, which is a game I really love and highly recommend. But with Greek, it seems a bit more simpler in that regard. I got used to the controls quite quickly, and it's the first time I have ever touched a DualSense controller without asking for consent. I do like the character designs in a way, and the level design is actually pretty cool, as well as the soundtrack, which I'm probably going to buy the soundtrack on Steam regardless of what game it was anyway, because I'm such a music whore. Gameplay is quite simple. I've gotten used to like the attack button and combos and stuff, and the enemies are like real pushovers, so I was quick to like learn the controls, and I literally played for like an hour until I managed to find my sister called Adara. So the game is pretty much like find your sister kind of games. Like it kind of reminds me of like Fatal Frame 2, where you had to find your twin in like a haunted mansion where you take pictures of ghosts and all that. When you find your sister, you are able to do like solo co-op, which means you can actually press the L2 button, for example, and you can bring your co-op character with you without actually having a second player to do it for you, which is pretty neat. And also it saves the whole stupid mechanic like the cave did, where you had to move one character, press a button, move that character, press another button, and then move that character to the same fucking place you did. It's really annoying, and the puzzles were like 2 times longer because they forgot to add in a button that literally allows you to like control 3 characters at the same time. Props to Greek for solving that problem for me. So I'm definitely gonna like Steam wishlist that game now, and hopefully if it's on discount, I will get it at a good price then.
A tier. Let's go really obscure. Hook up the game. One thing I have to say is that this game has the best autocorrect system I've ever seen. Apart from that, I don't know if this game appeals to me.
Would you like to know a little bit more about the game?
Yes, please. I like to speed date, as it were.
You play as Alex, it's a girl, and it's a dating app simulator. So while you're going through your possible matches, you find your high school bully. So then you actually match with him, and then you can start texting with him. As you can see, the high school bully is George. So you start texting with him, and you unfold the story of what happened when they were in high school, and how it keeps affecting them nowadays as adults. So at the end you decide whether with the emojis you can decide how or where the texts go. And at the end you decide if you want to hook up with him or block him from the app.
Do you also get to play as a guy instead of a girl?
Right now you can only play as Alex because the narrative it just goes that way. But this is a demo, so we're planning on maybe adding more characters.
Yeah. I don't mind playing as a girl, to be honest with you, because I like to play as girls in games anyway.
I guess our target was for girls, but we're finding out now that boys already like it a lot too. So,
oh my. Oh yeah, dude.
C tier. After I tried out the demo, I nabbed one of the art books for free. The best kind of discount. Last but not least, I headed off to the Left Field Collection, and from there, I only managed to try out 2 games. You Suck at Parking, Ops, B tier, and Defused, a game coming to modern consoles and also for the Game Boy. Whoa. I'm gonna talk to one of the team members about this.
I think it's really good to see that a Game Boy game in 2021 is still like there. I think that's pretty cool.
It is really cool. They did one before this, which was Super Jetpack DX on the Game Boy.
Alright.
And people were like, do another one.
Yeah, do another one.
Here we are. We're hoping that if this does really well, we'll be able to get it onto the Switch, and then it'll be available for lots of other people to play it.
It'd be pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I think it'll work really well on the Switch.
Yeah.
and you're going to actually get a physical Game Boy cartridge.
Oh, yeah, that's
with
really
a
cool.
manual. It'll work on Game Boy, Game Boy
Oh,
Color,
with the
Game Boy
manual.
Advance.
Oh, man, that's so old school, though. Okay.
There'll be a ROM available as well. Pre-orders are starting in November, and it'll be out early next year.
Early next year?
Yeah.
Are you going to show it at like a Nintendo Direct in some way? Because it is coming out for the Switch, right?
Not the minute. If it does really well, then that's something.
Your Miimo's got your number.
Yeah, we're going to do the physical version first and see how we get on with that, because that's where.
Yeah. And when will the physical version be available?
It'll be probably through Asobi Tech and Incubate, who are the publishers.
Ah, Incubator. All right. So not like self-publish.
Not this time. Last time we self-published, but this time he secured a publisher. So.
I get you. Nice to talk to you.
You as well. Enjoy
Yeah.
your time here.
I'll try. I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you. D tier. Okay, that took up way too much out of my time. I almost forgot about signing myself and Moshi up again for another Tekken 7 tournament. If you look real closely at the screen, you can see me appear in this EGX highlights video. Pause! There I am, right there!
I'm on TV, hi mom!
I'll give you the skinny for round 2 of this tournament. For me, I got as far as the second bracket and got completely demolished by a King main, while Moshi over there didn't even stand a chance. I'm such a bad person. I don't think fighting games are my true calling, guys. I might as well start another YouTube channel where I speedrun platformers instead. Well, it seems that every single day I come to EGX, I feel more exhausted as the days go by. And with good reason. I have been trying so many games. I've participated in much more than last time I went to EGX. And, I mean, new friend, I suppose. But I'll treat him like my rival. For now. As much as I want to say that this EGX has been very lackluster when it comes to how much they have on the show floor, to be honest, I have a lot more fun with this particular EGX compared to last EGX, because I think with EGX, it's overwhelming with how much shit I have to try, so I had to really micromanage and schedule everything. On one hand, it's underwhelming that there's not a lot of stuff, but on the other hand, the fact that there is not a lot of stuff to begin with gives them a lot more to work with here, because, you know, people can try out like so many things and not have to be stripped down for time. I've been trying a couple of games in the left field collection like You Suck at Parking. And not to mention, there was a leaderboard there for the fastest times. The time trial of Grapple Dog I've already mastered. But You Suck at Parking time trials, oh, they're a different ball game altogether. So I'm like, fuck that shit. If I had to deal with the worst kind of physics engine in my life, I might as well play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. At some point, I went to the Res session where they were showing off a game called Arcade Paradise. And it's pretty much a game where you manage your own arcade collection and all that. You can collect money from the arcade machines, and also you can play your own arcade games, much like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you get to ride your own rides and shit. So I asked one of the questions, if it's possible, will they consider adding more arcade machines in future updates of Arcade Paradise when it comes out in 2022? They are considering a possibility for that in collaboration with other indie development studios of making like D-Makes and, you know, other arcade games that are more like suited for gameplay to get like a high score. I also saw the cosplays. It wasn't much cosplays that I saw, but I saw Sam Bridges and he won like second place or something. And there was like this one weird xenomorph or something? Or was it Predator? I don't know. I'm very out of touch, guys. So I'm just gonna like head back now and just have a nice deserved rest for tomorrow.
Have a good rest.
I was gonna say.
Have a good rest.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yo, shout out to the boys at EGX.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, boys.
Are you vlogging? Are you vlogging?
Yeah, I'm vlogging.
Okay. Come on to my Instagram, RB Replicas.
All right, shout out to RB Replicas. Follow that guy on Instagram.
Yeah. We don't have Instagram.
Alright then people, this is day 4 at EGX 2021, the final day, the dreaded final day, and I got 24 hours remaining before the moon kind of crashes us all and we're all going to die.
I have done like a rapid flow test just this morning and I was tested negative. So that's pretty good. I'm on a winning streak so far. So I got my super pass on me and I'm just gonna go into the queue and see how big it was compared to yesterday, because yesterday was a really long ass queue. Good enough for me. People are off on the weekend and they got nothing to do but pretty much just play video games all day. So let's go. I'm going to hightail it to the front entrance and see how long the queue actually is. Hey, morning, how do you do? Boda, hello.
Sadly, it wasn't that big of a queue today. I suppose other attendees were Saturday-only bookers. I let Moshi go on ahead and queue. I don't know if you guys can see him, but I don't. He's wearing a blue fluffy hat. You can't miss it.
Actually, guys, I faked you out this whole time. Moshi forgot his hotel room key inside the hotel room, so he can't go back to get it. So he's gonna have to come to me so I can give him the hotel key so he can go back to his room and get his hotel key and come back to the line. Hotel key. Yeah. I'll be making it back safely, dude. Oscar Mysterious, I'm gonna shout you out, dude. I just saw another guy who was also wearing another Ahagal hoodie. Yo, dude. Is that an Ahagal hoodie?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take a selfie of you real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
And my friend also wear the Ahagal hoodie as well, so I was gonna take a picture of you. Alright, thank you. Arigato.
Aha! The competitors were one step ahead in achieving the fastest times imaginable. Since this is a final day, better make this one count. So you've seen me score the fastest times and won 3 days in a row on Grapple Dog. Do you think I got what it takes to get the fastest time today? Hell yeah, my boys! That's like the fastest time I've ever gotten so far. Jot that down on the leaderboard. Wait a minute. This isn't right.
Okay, so the sneaky people down at the Super Rare Games booth tweaked their leaderboard just a slight tad. I went down there and there was a leaderboard with a star, which is the top time, that is my name, and then there is number 1, 2, and 3, like the actual first places. Like mine doesn't count. Mine is like the top time, but apparently it's not first place, it's like way above first place. So I guess that's sort of an honor, and I pretty much am the reason why they had to keep tweaking their leaderboards and keep adjusting the rules and all that. I'm giving my life such hell, man. I feel so bad. But you know what? I do it for the sport because I think Grapple Dog is a really fun game to speedrun, and I think you should all just Steam wishlist it if you haven't already, and then speedrunners will go literally bonkers on that game. I did actually place a bet with someone, and we shook on it because so it's official. I won the top time literally 4 days in a row. That was the bet that was placed. And you know what? The exact thing happened. So, the guy that I made a bet with didn't show up today. So, there was another worker that I talked to, and I gave him my email address, I gave him my phone number, I passed the message on to the other crew members. Hopefully, the guy will get back to me, and then from that point, we'll see what happens. Everyone wants a PS5. Everyone wants it, Sony. But you keep running out of stock. Why are you company so incompetent?
While I'm waiting for a response back about that bet, before wrapping up the final day, I managed to get the top score again in Ghosts and Goblins, and somehow got to stage 3. Sometimes I surprise myself. The Grapple Dog rivalry may be over between me and the Drew Legend over here, but in the end, we got along pretty fast as we talked about how expensive hotel breakfasts are. I had to pay £16 for my breakfast every day. This guy spent £17.50. You want to talk about inflation hitting fuel prices? Nah, fuck that. This guy is eating out in the morning at a good £30 offer. I'm telling you, it's a steal. So yeah, we enjoyed hanging out together. I don't think I'll ever leave at this rate.
The event is now closed.
I better head off and find my friend.
Right. It's been good.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, dude.
Yeah, you
yeah, I'll keep an eye on you on Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Till next year, right? See you next year. Seems that EGX has now closed. All the pinball machines are being collapsed. Every TV has been turned off, and all the stores are going to close shop. and then everyone is leaving to evacuate the premises until next EGX. It's a sad, somber note to end EGX on because I had a lot of fun times here. So I'm gonna make my leave and say bye to EGX this year for now. Oh my god, I'm so exhausted. So the super pass is gonna go away now. I'm a normal person now.
I do find it rather fitting having to leave EGX on the final day to an embracing sunset to greet me outside. Yep, that's a short final day. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna be feeling that post-con flu in the morning.
It's a wonderful noise to wake up to in the morning, isn't it? I got my stuff packed, ready to go back home, people. This is the last day, and it's kind of tragic that it has to end this way, but it has to be done. I'm on my way home, boys. I'll see you back there. Alright then guys, we are back in our hometown in Wales now. It feels quite weird to be back after spending 4 days in London on myself and with Smoshy over there. Just gotta take a car back right home, but there is just one more place I gotta take a visit to first. BRB.
Not today, thank you.
Nah. I'm a different postman. I'm not Jehovah's Witnesses, unless you like to believe in our Lord and Savior. I'm here for the man upstairs.
Yes.
Ah, there you are. Here's my Ruby guy. Come on,
So
anyway.
you got some souvenirs with me?
Yes, I got some souvenirs for you, man. I don't know if they're the right size, but here you go. Hey, how are you doing? I'm keeping really well. Thank you very much.
You just decided to buy me a Rooster t-shirt.
Oh, no, not just one Rooster t-shirt. 2 Rooster t-shirts.
Wow.
I just wanted to keep him in surprise mode. You never know what you might get. But that's not it.
Yeah.
I saved the best for last. This canvas painting.
Shut up. It's not even my birthday isn't until next month, you know, and you're already spoiling me.
Happy belated birthday.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I am literally surprised.
Well then guys, I am back here in my own room once again. And who else greets me but my PC? So, my first impressions of EGX was that it seems a little bit more skewed than 2 years ago when they had a lot more to show when it comes to games and publishers and companies and indie developers showing off so much of their content stuff that is like before the actual release date comes out. But for this year, I kind of didn't understand why they had to strip certain things down the event. They're only allowing selected people in, and not to mention that certain publishers and people can't actually visit Britain because of the whole red alert situation, and especially because of the whole COVID situation. So not many people could make it to show off many of their games. But for those who actually did put in an effort to show most of the game selections that they had on standby, it was really impressive. But yeah, it was a little bit disappointing to say the least, but doesn't mean it's a bad event. I did have a lot of fun at the event still, and I think the money was still worth it. I was mostly like playing a lot of indies at the event, mostly games that have already come out or are like sort of close to like being released at that release window around November, let's say, or maybe like around next year, let's say. AAA games are usually taking a backseat to like most of the indie game stuff, so nothing really exciting for GX this year, but I hope next year we'll actually like pick up the slack with what 2021 had to offer when it comes to like underwhelming presentations and not much to offer during the whole theater thing and the whole EGX live stuff and all that. Like, I mostly spent time playing Grapple Dog, most of the indie games. I was stuck with the Retro Zone and the Pinball Corner. It's usually the old games in the event that tend to stand up more than the new ones, which is kind of odd. I never thought I'd actually get tuned in more with old games rather than new games. But not to mention, we're not saying that the new games are bad. There are like a lot of new games, especially in the indie scene. You've got freaking Kiwi, Disappearance of Dahlia View, Formula Retro Racing, Chef-tastic, Buffet Blast and all that. Quite a selection of indie titles that allows people to like experience different kinds of genres, different kinds of gameplay mechanics that AAA games don't normally used to have. It's good to see those indie scenes are still alive and thriving, and I cannot wait to like play some of the games that I've already seen wishlisted until next year. I'll definitely keep my eye on Diffuser. That's actually, it might not be a bad Game Boy game for me to play. I am getting the Game Boy physical cartridge because I'm that kind of guy. With that being said, this has been Zangorwarrior saying EGX 2021 is over, and I had a really fun time just being there in general. I've not been there in 2 years, and it feels good to be back. And I'll see you in EGX 2022. They've already had a set amount of dates for it already. Next year. Let's pile in for that train ride, boys. And as always, take care, guys.